Hey, so I had this idea to kind of watch my videos and record over kind of what I was thinking during my matches and stuff. So I'm gonna give it a shot. Here we go. This is my first match. I was really worried about adrenaline dumping. We don't really practice a lot of takedowns. I learned this one kind of watching videos. So I go for the inside kind of leg sweep. I think it's called like a kauchigari. I'm probably butchered that, but it's used in judo a lot. So I ended up in half guard, and then I was just trying to get to side control. That's where my base and everything is. That's where I like to attack from is side control. So that's where I wanted to always get at during my matches. I'm pretty strong for 175, so I was able to kind of muscle and get see the see where I wanted to get, and I was able to get my leg around and to mount. At this point, I'm just trying to kind of tire him out. I grapevine him, but I get kind of off balance, and he's able to get me back into half guard. One way I love to get out of half guard is grabbing the legs as low as I can and then sprawling, which is what I'm doing right here. And then I can control basically his legs because I'm pressuring his stomach with my shoulder. I'm really good at using my body weight. And then like how my teammates and everything say is I'm kind of like a snake. I'm gonna slither up into mount position. He tries to roll me. I'm able to get his back. I haven't even done that much back stuff at this point, so I have one hook in. I know if I get both hooks in, it's 4 points. I'm like, well, let me just pull him on top. And then I get my second hook in. I think at this point I'm up like 12-0. Like I said, I hadn't done much stuff from the back, so I was like, well, I know I'm gonna grab his collar. Let me just kind of make him panic and think I know what I'm doing. So at this point I get to technical mount, which is actually one of my favorite positions because arm bars, I've gotten Americanas from this position, and I'm actually in a not a very good technical mount. Now I'm in a good technical mount. And I'm working on, I pushed his collar down and I felt his arm come up, so bam, I grab his arm and yank on it. I was extremely pumped to get that first win out of the way, and it was about what I expected. We roll really hard at our gym, so it was great to kind of feel that pressure and stuff of a competition. The second match, me and this guy end up for like a minute and a half just trying to take each other down, and it's not working. I'm using my head to keep distance and keep a good base. He ends up pulling guard, which is all right with me because what we worked on at our gym for like almost a month before the competition is just passing guard. I didn't even do a great job, but I end up getting inside control eventually. So right now I'm wrapping my right arm under his top leg and then over his bottom leg to keep him from getting me into guard. And then I stupidly try to go back the other way, which fails, and he ends up thinking he's going to get a triangle. I'm able to knee cut on his thigh, and I've got really good base. I feel benefit, like when I was a college football player, it really helped with my athleticism, and it's transferred really well into Jiu Jitsu and is probably one of the main reasons I've excelled. So here I go, wrapping him up. I don't even know what this would be called, but I just grab both his legs, push him down. I'm able to wrap my hooks in, my grapevine, and then I slither on up. At this point, I want to pressure. I grabbed his arm because one of the things I like to do is, bam, right there, throw my leg over when they try to get out of mount, and it's pretty sneaky. So it was really quick. He went to bridge. I already had control of that arm, threw my leg over and arm barred him. He actually yelled, and I was really afraid that I hurt him. And I talked to him after the match. He was like, nah, man, like I'm all right. I hardly ever get caught in that kind of thing. It kind of just surprised me. So I've been doing that a lot to my teammates. That's one of my go-tos, I guess, my setups. And so at this point, I'm in the finals. I saw this kid just kind of run through the competition his first few matches. Turns out he's actually been like a white belt for, I don't know, almost 2 years. He gets his blue belt. He just got his blue belt not too long ago, and he was actually supposed to get it if he would have beat me on the podium. So sorry, man, but I needed that win. So I get rolled, and at this point I'm pissed because I got rolled and I let myself get rolled, and I felt it coming, and it was like super slow motion, and I end up cutting my eye. I don't even, like no one knows how. I don't know if it was from the mat, but my opponent was really cool. Tells the ref, hey, like he's cut and he's bleeding, and I had felt it kind of dripping down my face, and I didn't know if it was me or him that was cut. I didn't know how bad. So at this point, the ref stops it and is like, hey, there's some blood. And I would have kept going if he didn't stop, because I didn't want to say anything and get caught in a choke and then have an excuse. I just wanted to keep rolling. The cut is actually right above my eye. I had to go get stitches right after the competition. And so during this, they clean it up and they're like, well, we're going to put a Band-Aid on it. And then they're worried that it might open up again and I get disqualified. And so I get pretty like I'm just thinking, man, I don't want to get disqualified at this finals match. So they wrap sports tape around my head, which I just needed it to hold for a few more minutes so I could submit him or get to the 5-minute mark. And none of us scored points. I end up with the advantage before I submit him. He's back in half guard. And the whole time, one of my coaches was telling me, get the shield up and get your shield in. So I'm going to get my knee in right here, and I'm going to just work on standing up. He's trying to pass my half guard. I'm really good at keeping that knee shield up, and it causes a lot of problems with my teammates, and it proved to really help here. And so I feel him trying to pass my half guard. I'm able to get his collar and push up onto and sit up, and then eventually get up. He tries to take me back down. I've got a really good base, like I said. I work out, and I strength weightlift all the time, so I was pretty confident I wasn't going to get taken down. He pulls guard again, and so now we get into a little battle of if he's going to keep me in guard, he's going to look for submissions, and I'm trying to get out of guard. So I try to get my knee under his butt and post my leg out so that I can break his guard and just work my way out. I do this a few times, but I'm also trying not to gas out because this is my third match, and I can feel myself kind of breathing hard, so I'm trying to control my breathing at this point. It's funny because one of the things you just do subconsciously, you need to remind yourself. So he tries to go for a triangle. I catch his leg and throw it over and get in this weird position, and he goes, and I try and just pull him into guard, and he actually has my leg, so I try and go after, I know you can't see it right now, but I try and go after his left arm, and I think he thinks that I'm going for a Kimura, but I'm just grabbing it to have some leverage. And a lot of the times I'll just grab an arm just to make people think that I have something, and I probably don't most of the time, but I end up getting a pretty good grip on it, and I push his leg through or push his head through my legs, and I basically almost have an arm bar. He has a pretty good grip, and we end up rolling over, and you can't see it right now, but I break his grip once, and then he's able to get it back, and then I use all my strength, and I crank down on it, and I'm able to get it that time. This was my first tournament. I've been training since April. I have one stripe. It was a great accomplishment for me to get to this point, just to get to the finals, and then to submit someone who's had so much experience. I think he's had a few MMA fights. It was a big learning experience.